Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, Chris and I take a journey to Hawkins as we talk about Netflix's Stranger Things, season 4, episodes 1 through 7. The series of movies that they gave us. These episodes were long, but you didn't feel it because it was good. We got a cliffhanger. We got some origin stories. We got a lot of things going on. But Chris, what did you think of this continuing saga?
Yeah, I would argue to say this was probably my favorite season. Yeah, they were all like more than an hour, which like you said, you don't feel it. However, I feel like especially what Netflix is kind of going through with losing subscribers right now, I think, and with them losing a lot of shows of late, I think it would have probably benefited them, especially with every episode ending in a cliffhanger, if they would have done like maybe an episode a week. You know what I mean? I binged it. I was fine with it. Especially when you have like that day when you're not doing anything, just as like those my Lord of the Rings. I'm just like watching them all, I got 10 hours free. Let's go. You know what I mean?
I never got there like that.
No, but it was good. No, but it didn't, it was great. It was like, it kept moving along. Pretty much every storyline. The only storyline that I was kind of like about was Winona Ryder's character.
Joyce going after Harper.
Yeah, Joyce and Hopper. I love the whole thing with Hopper and the prison and whatnot. Them rescuing him was, I guess they needed that, you know what I mean? But Hopper, I loved, but even his story with Hopper's story in the prison, I thought was good. We introduced the new characters. Eddie Munson somehow within 7 episodes became one of my favorite new characters now. And what's the dude's name?
The man with no face.
No, not him. No. I'm talking about the whole the dude is always hot.
The Cheech and Chong looking dude.
I forgot his name, but anyway, yeah, he's pretty. He reminded me of Sean Penn in Fast Time Richmond High, which I'm sure
that's what they were going for. I bet you that's what they were going for.
Yeah, he definitely reminded me of a lot, just like not understanding what's going on around him. You know what I mean? Which is cool. There's a lot of 80s references in this. I always have 80s references, but I love how this season definitely, because I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan. So this definitely had that. This definitely had Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, you know what I mean? It was
all there.
Awesome. It was all there. And I would say this was the darkest of all the seasons. I mean, they're damn near 30 years old now at this point. These kids are. So it's like, might as well can't just be running around from Demogorgons, with the ET looking, bike, while 11 is right.
Lucas big as fuck.
When I was like, at first, when they were playing basketball, I was like, are they playing college ball? I was like, you're watching but I didn't realize how, even not just him though, but even with 11, like when he kept doing flashbacks with her, I was like, damn, she was that small, wasn't she?
Oh yeah. When she became her younger self, and you're like, no, she's big as fuck now.
Yeah. She grew up, so it was like, it was kind of, I thought that stuff was pretty cool. Forgot the girl's name, but Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter, she did a great job. The one that's what's the lady's name?
Nancy?
No, Maya. No, I'm sorry, Robin.
Okay,
Robin.
Yeah, the one
is a lesbian. The one.
I got you.
Yeah. That's Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's.
Oh, really?
Daughter. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So she did a great job. Definitely taking her parents' footsteps. That's pretty dope. Overall, really great 7 episodes. Love the vibe. Terrifying. I thought this was, as you can see from the background, this was a great arc for certain characters like Max. You know what I mean? I'm still feeling the guilt of what happened to Billy, her brother from previous seasons and whatnot. And it was all about guilt and just kind of coming out of that. Because of this show, what was it? Was it Bush's Running Up the Hill is like now back to number one as far as
really?
The download charts and whatnot. That awesome cinematic moment when Max is like hearing her favorite song and her trying to get back to her friends. I ain't gonna lie, that was a great scene. I would say it was probably one of the best scenes I've seen of Stranger Things of all the 4 seasons. I just something about it, just like her, just the context of the song, the lyrics, everything of what it was about, and her trying to like get out of this hole that she's in, and hearing Lucas's words like, "I'm here, I'm here," like can't you see me? You know what I mean? So just knowing her worth, you know what I mean? So I thought that was awesome. I do think it kind of sucks for certain characters they kind of put in the background, like Mike, the main character of Stranger Things, of the first 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of more of a background character in the season. Yeah. Surprisingly, you know what I mean? Will as well. Will is definitely a background character.
So
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying so Mike is only relevant as relates to 11, right? Like it's really 11.
That wasn't always the case.
I feel like it was, because Will was the one that went missing. Will was the story for like season 1.
And where was Will? Will was barely in this one either.
Will is sitting around pining for Mike, which I can't. I need that just needs to happen so we can get this shit over with. Because I'm like, if that's gonna be
so I saw an interview with that. I saw an interview with the girl who played 11 and Will. They basically said some of the rumors are like they said like don't believe all the rumors that you hear, and I think that was one of the rumors. You know what I mean? So they didn't say what the actual rumor was, but everyone kind of alludes to like, oh, you can't just start, because everyone's like, oh, it's his sexuality, it's the kid's sexuality. But I don't know. They're doing that to throw people off. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I'm saying, I mean, to the point of like, hello, Ashley. I love the season so far. It's great. It's great. I really liked the kind of like maybe the split scene. So you got Hawkins going on, you got Callie going on, like 11, and trying to get her shit together, and like what is it like to be a regular kid, like with no powers, right? And her getting bullied was like some real shit. But then I'm like, that's a bit much. I mean, it was some TV stuff going on at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's when active shooters happen, because 11, if she would have had her power, she would have murdered that girl. Like at that point. And I was like, her smashing that girl. Well, not
murder. I mean, but like just like how she handled some of the kids in the first season. It's like push you into the wall and then they usually like just ran away. That's how the first season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, but she smashed her in the face with skates and she had no powers. Yeah. With powers, she would have killed that girl. Like, I'm not saying she would have wanted to do it on purpose, but I think she would have been like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like,
no, I think she would have stopped her, but like just like, I mean, I could say this now, but when I was a kid, when I could not, it reminded me of when I was a kid. Now, obviously, I was much younger, but there was a kid that was bullying me that was much bigger than me. I knew I could not like beat him physically, and I just remember my dad telling me, "Hey, like if some, he was old school. He's like, hey, if someone hits you, like don't let someone just hit you and get away. Like you have to hit back. You can't just like let someone just start hitting you. So it's like like hit him back and they'll stop. And I misinterpreted everything that he meant by that. Especially he didn't know how big the bully was, so he didn't know that I couldn't just hit him regularly. So I took a toy fire truck right in his face, nose bleeding, everything. That parents had to pick me up and whatnot. My mom didn't speak to my dad for almost a week. And then he's like, I didn't mean you doing that. And he was like, he's bigger. I could use my fist. And he was like, okay, true. I mean, what else? But so I don't know. I mean, it's just I was kind of sympathetic with 11, like big time with this. I don't think the power. I think she would have had restraint with the powers, especially you do one little thing like trip her up or whatnot. She would have stopped, because just like everyone else stopped in season 1. They were like, okay, you know what I mean? Everyone backed away.
At the point that she tried, she was overly emotional. Like
she would have showed, but that was her off. Do you not remember first season?
I'm saying the
first season. The first thing, she had all those horrible thoughts of what happened to her, and she just like flung someone all the way into like a van, and then with the windows blown. So it was like, I mean, I think she was just going to push. I don't think she was going to like like force choke her, if that's what you mean. I don't see her doing that. She
I
never
don't.
did
So
that before.
I get
She always
you.
lunges. She always like throws people away. You know what I mean?
And that's how we get Vecna, apparently. So
what upside down? Yeah.
So
that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. So we understand that actually 11 created the first, like gateway between, our world and the upside down. Like it was her.
I don't know. I feel like, so I think the upside, well, obviously obviously the upside down was already existed, but I feel what I think 11 did was she created the gateway to Hawkins, but I'm not even sure that's true, because like we got 2 more episodes left. I feel like the last 2 episodes are going to focus on how Vecna became Vecna, and I don't just mean just from the orderly that he was. I mean, but remember, they had to study him, and that was the reason why you had like 2 through 12. I was like, you know what I mean? Like that's how 11 even became her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be explored how he even got those powers in the first place. You know what I mean? Which would be kind of interesting, and I guess that's one reason why I guess what they're doing a final season. They said this season is going to like answer a lot of questions. You know what I mean? This is still in the writing phase right now, but they said this, like the 5th and last season, will straight up like everything you have questions about with the upside down will be answered, which made me think like, oh shit, okay, so not everything is going to be necessarily revealed in this season. Yeah. So I mean, so she didn't create it, but she, I guess, maybe, I don't know. I guess she didn't bring it to Hawkins. I guess Vecna did. I guess
no, because as a child, like he was the one that killed his parents. Like that had nothing to do with the upside down. Like somehow he was born. He was like a mutant. Like it seems with the story, is 11 a clone, or was she born with the powers? It seems like they so Papa studied like Will's or Vecna's like blood, like, and then like maybe try and injected and because she had a real mother. You know what I'm saying? So I think they like injected his blood into the other.
Not like Compound V. They basically
Compound V that shit. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. They started with the original and they made a Compound V of sorts, and they injected into these kids to see if they can recreate the same powers but more under control. The real question is how did Papa come up with that brown thing that was in his neck to control him like that? Because that's pretty impressive. Like, I mean, if they were to control the original, I mean, that's by far impressive. But no, I think the upside down was there, but she created the doorway that connected the 2 worlds together. Because because Will was killing those people all by himself. He killed his family by himself. I understood why. In essence, they showed why he killed his dad with the whole guilt of him bombing that World War II house or whatever. They really didn't explain. The mom was scared of him. All right. Well, I don't know why he killed his sister. I mean, I don't get that.
I think so. I don't think so. The thing is, at that point, it was like it was basically saying. I think he was able to read people's thoughts and whatnot, and I think to him it was like an excuse, just like an excuse to find anything that he feels that you did wrong, which is why he killed all these kids. Like he why was he killing Max? To your point. Max didn't do anything to him. Like, Max is a good girl. Like, she just happened to be put in horrible situations. She didn't do anything. She just happened to have some fucked up parents and a brother that bullied her. So I guess to your point, it was no reason at all. It was to feed him. It was like he just had all this anger. And it just was like, I could read his thoughts. I now can read her thoughts, and even my little sister. You see what I'm saying? I don't think I think you also got to be careful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying with Max, whether it was the guilt, he fed on the guilt part. She specifically was guilty of the fact that she watched Billy die, and somewhere in her mind, she believes that she's responsible for it. Vecna's father believed he was responsible for those children being murdered. So it's like, if the person believes that they're responsible for something and they feel guilty about it, to him, that's good enough to be like, well, then I will show you what you did and I will take you. Like So I'm saying, I mean, whether it's true or not is really up to the person. That's what I'm saying. She still feels
Right,
guilt
right.
over her brother. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but let's be real. Everybody feels guilty about something, whether it's a rational guilt or not. You know, let's be real. There's a lot of like, you know, think of survivor's remorse. Think of like you being in a car crash and you sitting in the back seat. You're not even driving. Everyone in the car dies and you survive. You like you feel like, you know, like what you always hear of, like people just feeling guilty. You had nothing to do that could control that situation. You know what I mean?
I'm not
But
saying
it's just you feel guilt. No, I know what you're
all
not saying.
right,
I'm just saying that's how Vecna works.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I said that's why he went after his sister. He was like, yum, yum, yum. I'm hungry. Oh, you're guilty about, oh, you accidentally broke one of your Barbies and you feel really guilty about your little Barbie. Yeah. Like, you know,
I think
or like, or the mother's like, yo, you overcooked a meatloaf. You know what I mean? You gave everybody food poisoning. You know, like it's like, you know what I mean? It's like
it was crazy. But so all right, so that being said, so I like how it's at this point you realize they add new characters to murder them, right? Like so said cheerleader
Missy.
So,
oh no, Chrissy.
So Chrissy being murdered, I think she was new to this season. Like I don't remember her like from previous.
No, she's brand new. Matter of fact, they weren't even in high school with this. Remember that? They weren't in high school yet. They were all in middle school. Yeah, I saw an interview and they were like 14 now. They're like 14.
Yeah,
it's bullshit. but no, they're apparently 14.
I was like, they're like going on spot. Yeah. But I was saying, so like Chrissy being introduced and Eddie being introduced, I thought Eddie was gonna go because I thought he's a cool character, he's a new character, but he's dead as fuck because he ain't one of the originals. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I still think he's expendable though. Like we got to see where it goes. He's lasting, but he could go.
I don't think so. I don't think so because they made a point to basically make the Rat Pack basically try to protect him all this long that I don't think the show is going to just let him go. No.
All right. Well,
and now this was like something like, I don't know, like The Wire or something. Yeah, like, you know what I mean, where anyone's expendable or, you know what I mean? Sure, but this isn't. Nah, I don't see him going. And then I think by the end of this season, like even if they're trying to see who we're going to bring back or whatnot, they're going to see who is like fan favorites and whatnot. And I, you know, and from what I'm seeing online, people's loving Eddie Munson, especially his little dialogue he had with the two freshmen to both Dusty and Mikey said, you know, when I found you guys were sitting at that table right over there. You know what I mean? And him getting all upset about finding a new member of Hellfire Club and him tempting that little girl's gangster. You know what I mean? You know, so
I feel like Billy was the same way though. I think Billy was a favorite, like, you know, like people liked him and then he died. You know what I'm saying? Like,
was he though?
I think I'm saying, yeah, but I was saying, but he was still an engaging character. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a lot of dialogue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And unlike the other characters, he doesn't have someone to like redeem him as a character. Like Joyce and Hopper have to each other. You know what I'm saying? Each one of them justifies the other. You know what I'm saying? Like without Joyce, you would have thought Hopper died, you know, sadly sacrificing himself for the team, and that would have been the end of it. But Joyce being like, I miss Hopper being like, I miss Joyce. Like you have them, they kind of keep each other going. Like Mike and 11, like they kind of keep each other with the story. Like there's someone that will miss them if the other one is gone, you know, type of thing. And then like if you look at not John, Steven. So Steve and the other girl that he's getting back, not Robin. What's the other girl's name? Nancy. Like they're all of a sudden becoming like a couple again. Like, which I totally forgot that they were together in season 1 myself. But like,
did you?
I did. But now they're again, they're the ones kind of keeping each other around. Like Eddie doesn't have that. Eddie is saying he's commenting on how Steve is a mentor to Dustin. Like he's like, you know what, you're such a good guy because Dustin loves you so much, and I'm kind of jealous, right? Like he's like, Steve, like you're this, and Steve, and you're that. Like he's there to kind of help everybody get from point A to point B. But if someone, he's a runner. Remember, he's like, what I do is I run. when Chrissy got killed, he ran. He's like, I'm a runner. I don't say stand up for people. That's not what I do. So I can see him in the end being the one to be like, I got this. And
kind of like the sacrificial lamb or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, he's a good character. I mean, I don't know, but I can. If it's a choice.
No. You might be right. I mean, who knows? No, I mean, to your point, I mean, no one expected Sean Astin's character to die from The Hobbit. You know what I mean? So or I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? But yeah. Okay.
So also, if my friend like Max, for example, is like the second or third victim of a specter being like killing people, right? I'm not letting them go anywhere by themselves. Like that's just me. Like I don't understand what they were like. Hey, we're gonna let Max go over there and hang out by themselves, and we'll catch up with her. She's okay. No, you stay with her at all times. Like, and when she starts going like this and blinking and shit, you smack the shit out of her to be like, hey, wake up. But they just like, hey, girl, you're gonna do. I'm like,
I know something tells me that wouldn't have worked. Even if they could have probably shot her arm, she was still. I don't think that works.
Smack her. I'm just saying, I would have
like yo. So I hear you. Like I'll be pissed if like maybe someone else does it and all they had to. Then we was like, I can't find music. What do we do? Oh, pinch them. And then all of a sudden, I'll be pissed if it was as simple as just pinching the nigga. I'll be like, no. So because I mean, like if you remember, like even with Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I know it's not trying to necessarily be the exact same thing, but let's be real. It's obviously doing a lot of winks to Nightmare on Elm Street, not to mention Robert Englund being in it. You know what I mean?
I
like it didn't like a simple just throwing water on someone didn't work. Like it was like you had to like borderline almost kill someone just to wake their ass up so they don't get killed. Ironically, you know what I mean?
And to that, like you're right. Like when I saw this whole like almost like mystery killer with a cause, or like like you have to be in a position. I was like, oh, this is like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like even with the way Vecna looks, he kind of has that nightmare. And his transformation being burned and hit with lightning or what the fuck ever. Like I'm like,
that reminded me of Dr. Manhattan. Actually,
I can see that.
Dr. Manhattan, and even which Hellraiser was it? Where it's like you saw the. How Doug Jones, like when all of a sudden, like you saw him
get came out, it was like
and stripped out, and then he slowly became like, Pinhead.
Yeah. So you're right. So the origin story of your horror movie villain, like this definitely gave you that, like at the end,
right?
But again, to you, especially when I saw Robert Englund, I'm like, okay, they're definitely going for more of a Nightmare on Elm Street, type character, right? Like you have to sleep at some point,
and how it ended too, like. Who got traps with the Vecna? Nancy. Freddy Krueger's biggest nemesis? Nancy.
I didn't.
Nancy, yeah.
That's 2 points for
Nancy,
you.
like
that's 2 points. I didn't connect it.
I'm just saying, I mean, I guess that screams killers too, like, hello, Nancy. Like,
shit. So, but I like that. Them when Dustin was like, we can talk to the other side, when they were talking to each other in the house, when they were like, hey, I thought that was cool to be like, can you hear us? And then the sheets being pulled through the ceiling reminded me of Poltergeist. I felt like they were doing Poltergeist at that point.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, it does. Yeah. That's what you got to appreciate the show as far as like literally like giving you the nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because they purposely throw that in there. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, did they?" I'm like, no, they did a lot of this stuff on purpose. It's and they're hoping that you guys like that, like kind of can pick it up. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to be outright like say it out loud. You know what I mean?
Besides the posters.
Yeah, there you go. Besides the posters
and fucking like war games, I'm like, it's the 80s, baby. I was like, I get it. I think the sheet. This is me. When I saw a sheepfall thing, I was like, oh, if they would have dropped some meat through the hole, like just to test it out, I would have been like, Poltergeist. I remember they were like, or.
Come on, come to stay away from the light.
Remember? when like I wanted them to be pulling like one of the kids through, and then like Vecna comes out, like just I mean, pure like the poltergeist, but like right, like I thought that was gonna happen.
I was waiting for that. Yep.
I was waiting for it. Like when it was, I was like, Sydney's not gonna make it. Like they can't all get through. Like I was waiting for Vecna to just kind of pop out for no reason, and be like, she's mine, and boop. And I'd be like, Nightmare on Elm Street with a splash of poltergeist.
Right. Yeah.
Clearly 11 is still Firestarter, 80s Firestarter. Clearly the whole like, you know, evil government making a child soldier, warrior, supernatural, some shit. And then like the evil, that black dude crazy as fuck, dude. That colonel like torturing that other dude. I'm like, yeah, crazy as fuck.
Speaking of Firestarter, if you remember the season finale last season, I guess when we saw that Steve and Robin had a new job working at that Blockbuster related place.
Yeah.
What did you see in the front? You saw new releases, and it says Firestarter.
Oh shit!
So, yeah, Firestarter came out around the same time. So I was like, they do a lot of nods, man. I love it. I love this shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I was thinking,
it's gonna happen. That classic moment where, like, when 11 finally bosses up and she gets all her powers back.
Yeah,
that's when Black Dude and like evil government are coming. And then she's gonna have like whoop their asses to get up out of there. Like that, I was like, so I thought this was gonna be that moment. Like when she goes back to that vision, she realizes like she's not the one who killed all those kids, but she was the one that vanquished, you know, the will and all that. I thought that was gonna be. I thought that's when they were start busting in.
How do you? So actually, let me rewind a little bit. I meant to bring this up in the very beginning. How do you feel about like the opening of it, like the opening of episode 1, where they kind of, at least I fell for it. I got the impression that 11 basically slaughtered like all the kids. You know what I mean? Like how did and then they explained, because you know they did have to put like a little thing in the beginning of
with all the mass murders and stuff.
You know, but like I remember watching, I was like, damn, 11, like what the fuck? Like, do you need to get stopped? Do I need to get Thunderbolt Ross on you? Like, you know, like,
he is not to be fucked with. Like once she. So to your point, when I first saw the bodies, right, I was like, maybe she did it. But when they kept on showing the scene of just the bodies, like just them with it.
Like, you meant throughout the episode?
Yeah, I was like, she. Didn't, I was like, she didn't do this shit, like, because all you see is the result, not the cause, right? So I'm like, there's probably a mystery. But yeah, at first you're like, she can do it. I mean, so we saw her get bullied. You're like, I can see again after she smacked the shit out of that kid, when she should got immediately arrested. Like immediately, there's no way she left that skating ring without her parents being called, as the cops were being called, and she's going to jail. Like at that moment, like this whole I get to go home and hang out and talk to my boyfriend, and then the cops show up. Absolutely not. Like she went to straight jail like right then. Like that. Like I was like, this don't make no sense.
I was a little shocked that they all kind of stuck around. I was a little shocked. I was like, get the fuck out of there, Mike. I'm like, well, because if you remember the previous season, Mike like never hesitated, like getting 11 out of like a hairy situation. Like, we gotta go, and then like, you know, and they're out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, to Vaughn's comment, yeah, Silence of the Lambs was definitely when Nancy and Joyce went downstairs to see Robert Englund, basically. Like I was like, Silence of the Lambs, when they're like, do not touch this.
I think 1 too. Even when 1 was talking to 11. I thought that was another Silence of the Lamb moment too. I thought that was 1 was, you know what? I've seen that actor, didn't he have he had a small role in Game of Thrones actually?
He did.
I am now I've seen him here and there in certain films and stuff like that, but seeing him in this, I'm now a big fan. He played the shit. He reminded me of Skarsgård when he played Pennywise in Stephen King's It. Like, you saw the transformation from him just being like this guy that was helping 11 out, like, hey, like this is how you deal with bullies, you know what I mean? Like, or like, you know, just you know, when you have troubles trying to use your power, just think of this. And then he just transforms into like even like the way he looks at her, like when he realized that she's not joining him, his look just like went just demonic. Even before he did the actual transformation, like that was some great ass acting. Like he looked fucking crazy.
Crazy. He looked crazy as fuck, man.
And that was awesome. And like sucks that he's such a bad guy. He's gonna have to die this season because I would like to see more of him, but probably not. You know?
He was good. I knew when he said there was a one, because that's not what they did in last season. Because they went through this whole thing like there was multiple of them, and I think she actually met her.
Yeah, remember that?
Like I'm like, this is
There was an ending. Yeah,
this is not.
That was season. Was that season 2? That was season 2,
that was
right?
Season 3. That was last season because she met her black.
Because she was hanging out with the other ones.
The other girl, she had a black sister or some shit that was in New York that could like make people disappear or something. Yeah. Like, you remember?
Yeah, but they were also committing crimes, if I'm not mistaken. She was with a group of folks who also had powers like her.
No, she was no. She was the power one.
I'm sorry. Then we're talking about 2 different seasons, because season 2, if you remember season 2, when she had the long hair, when she first was being a rebel before she got adopted by Hopper. You know what I mean? Before it's like she started living with Hopper. Yeah.
All right.
You know.
Okay. We talk about 2 different things, but you remember I'm talking like I said, I thought she was black, but she went up to New York. She went free. She went to New York. She met 9 or some shit, whatever the number was, and the girl was helping her escape. But like she was helping people commit crimes, but she was the one that was like hiding people and moving around or some shit. But like anyway, they changed the origin story to get Vecna in there. Clearly, I mean, because like this.
Yeah, to your point, it kind of messed me up because I was thinking like if all of them are slaughtered, what the hell happened to them? But I was thinking like, okay, was this like a rewrite? This is like they just recons everything. Just like forget all that shit. Forget that.
You know what? They started all over again. If they had the Compound V, they just made more of them.
Compound V. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I like that. I like that. So that's probably what they did. It's probably what this was the original set. They were all wiped out, so Papa just started all over again. And maybe he used, if he couldn't use Will's blood, maybe he used V's blood. I knew later on, I would say I knew that Will was probably one. I didn't think that he was Vecna, but I knew he was one.
I knew. So okay, here's the deal. I did not know that, right? However, the kid in the flashback with Victor Creel, I knew that kid that you saw in the flashback was most likely the ones that was killing everybody. Because I remember when Victor Creel kept talking, like when he was in the cell, he was like, when I woke up, like, you know, my daughter was dead and my son was in a coma. And I was thinking like, why is he in a coma?
And not dead.
Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, and I was thinking like, holy shit, is he Vecna? But to your point, I did not like put 2 and 2 together with the orderly being like, I didn't connect that. I just had part of the connection. I didn't have the full strength, like the full line.
So then I was like, okay, if Vecna was around, Vecna was responsible for Robert Englund's family being murdered, right? I get that, right? But then I was like, it's too far in the past. Like, and I felt like the time was messed up. I was like, if this is what 11 and then we're fighting, well, this Vecna should have been around like centuries or something. I just felt like he was older things. So I was like, well, how does that fit into the timeline? Once I figured out, no, that was the kid. Like, so that Vecna was there when he killed the kid. And then I was like, oh no, that is the kid. And I was like, and I was like, all right, got you. I was like,
because I kind of was like that too. Because I was thinking like, shouldn't he been basically like haunting Hawkins for a while?
Yeah,
and that's until you realize, like you said, like, you know, until like, just like you, like I realized afterwards, I was like, damn, like, no, he didn't even become who he was until after his showdown with 11, right, season 1. But then at that point, we were dealing with, was it the Night Flyer? You know what I mean? And then Jim Gordon's, you know, speaking of Jim Gordon's. Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, because then I'm like, well, who's in charge of who? Like, so I know Dustin.
I think Night Flyer is like, so they said Night Flyer is like the big guy. And they basically said Vecna was like the 5-star general, like up for him. Yeah, that's Dustin's theory. That's Dustin's theory. So we don't know that. I mean that's and it's a decent theory, but it could be that Vecna's in charge of this whole shit,
And he's the one that's like, why hasn't the Upside Down come out yet? Like, what took them so long? Maybe they're waiting for Vecna to come in to kind of organize this shit. And he's like, this is how there's something bigger than this place. Like, he gets introduced to the Upside Down, and he's like, there's another world we can get into, and he's been the one masterminding all this shit.
Well, if you remember like Nightflyer and whatnot, he feeds off, like, he literally feeds people, right? So if you remember with the last season when he was like infiltrating like people and things got hairy.
Yeah,
he made people like turn into like glob, and then he just consumes them.
Yeah. I remember.
It becomes a bigger part.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's what Vecna's kind of helping to do, is in the sense of like taking these people, and yes, like he's absorbing some of it for himself, but maybe he's becoming one of like this big thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the big
bad. Like, it's gonna be like a huge
or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially finding out there's going to be another season of this. Like, you know, I think I was saying last season that they originally said season 4 was going to be it, and then fairly recently they were like, no, it will end at season 5. We'll see if they will actually end it this time.
Then they have a couple spinoffs for no reason. Also, Erica was by far my favorite character, dude. Like the
little girl,
that sister, like Lucas' sister, was absolutely stole the show for me, bro. I love that little girl, man. She was hilarious.
That was awesome. That little scene where it's like literally like Eddie was like, yo, I'm not letting an 11-year-old, it was like 11-year-old into the Hellfires club. And then and then he said, what level are you? He's like, I'm a level 11, blah, 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 blah. Or, you know, like just going through all these things. And even Dusty was like, oh shit. Yeah. So what do you feel about the whole thing with Dusty's girlfriend? Like, I will say this. I was a little uneasy about it at first. Like, okay, like, do we need this? But there's some funny moments in it, like with the whole thing with the computer and them having the story about her father, like, was so upset, and like, because he could sense how guilty she was for like changing Dusty's grade and whatnot. And I'm thinking, Dusty's a nerd. He should be good at all this shit. You know what I mean?
I thought it was a good comic relief. You know, kind of separate from like kind of the darkness stuff that they were doing. Yeah. I thought the house was like just completely insane. Like, where's the mama? Like, Child Protective Services should be called immediately. Like, there's a lot of things going on in this house.
Probably that's probably who it belongs to. That was like a foster home if I've ever seen one.
I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, what is going on? You just collecting the checks, bro? Like, I was concerned for this little girl, but then I loved it. Like, that could with the right writing, that could be a whole show just by itself. Like, just the whole, I know, right? Like,
just this family in Utah, you know, just like.
Just completely batshit crazy, right?
And you're following, sometimes making an appearance.
Yeah, right. And like, you're following her, like it's always like Malcolm in the Middle, but you're following her through her life and the kid. Like, I thought it was hilarious. I think we asked off camera, she ever actually meet Dusty in person? Like, I don't think she has.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, but it makes me think, how did they meet in the first place, right? Because it's like, it's not like there's like a Match.com or eHarmony. So it's like, I guess you have pen pals. I guess. How would they even know each other?
The radio. The seat.
Okay, how do you meet?
Back in the day, you had the phone. Like, I think if I remember correctly, he was on the radio. The signal jumped to signal. Like, she was closer. I think she was closer, but they became like radio friends or some silly shit. It was last season. I feel like everything.
So who jumped in whose DMs at AKA radio? Who jumped into who's like their radio signals? Like, you know, that's what I want to know. You know
with the CB, the civilian band, everybody was everything. Once you get on the band, anyone can talk to anyone. So it's just. So
that's true.
Yeah. So I think they jumped on the same band. They started that because that's when 11 and Michael really started, get going, and basically the boys started to discover girls. They went to camp together. Thank you very much. They went to camp together.
Oh,
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And then they
thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, now it makes more sense.
Now it makes more sense. Yeah, that does make sense. So they actually have met. They just haven't they haven't got maybe getting back together. So why hasn't he traveled for spring break that Mike can just get on a plane and go see his 11 girlfriend? Like, I'm like, who the fuck does that? Like, my mom, there's no way in fuck my mom would have been like, you can get on a plane and go see your girlfriend under 18, and I'm just gonna be okay with that. No.
Well, I mean, they've been through a lot. Okay, like they've seen death, and they've seen. I think at that point they're like, look, I know you're 14, but you basically a grown ass man at this point. You've seen a whole lot more stuff than a 40-year-old man has seen.
I see what you're
You
saying.
know what I'm saying?
I just feel like also
Like he almost died. Like how many times have Mike almost like came this close from dying? Like, yeah. I mean, at that point, you grown at this point. Like you can just like, you know what, you can drop the F-bomb, whatever.
You say that, but Hopper was like, absolutely not. Hopper was like, you stay your horny ass away from my daughter. So he was actually not about that. Oh, and I was like, so
yeah, you know what? I also feel like Hopper was trying to make up for lost time with his own daughter, like who died.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that was, I cannot wait for that reunion. I cannot wait to see Hopper and 11 reunite again. That was an awesome part of season 3, especially that finale. Like, someone was definitely cutting onions when 11 was reading that letter from Hopper after he, basically died. You know what I mean? So that was that was a really great moment, and especially seeing how 11's dealing with so many issues at this new school in California. That would be kind of interesting. What is up? I mean, I feel bad for Will's just like standing there. Will's like, my
thing, I think, despite what they're saying, I think Will's feelings for Mike are real, because if you look at last season, again, when the boys started just to come.
Oh, you talking about that? Oh, I was talking about with her and him and 11. But
no, I'm saying it's all connected. It's all connected. You know what I'm saying? So he likes 11, but he understands that 11 is with the person he wants to be with, and so that it's an interesting dynamic. That's why he was like, why are you lying to Mike? You know what I'm saying? Why, be honest. Like he's like he wanted to give Mike that painting that he drew that's still rolled up. I'm telling you, he's like.
Well, no. I mean, okay, I hear you. No, I no. Really, what I was really trying to ask is like, why? It seems like he should have done a better job at, like, especially when he saw how much she was getting picked on. So screw the whole thing when Mike was with him skate. I'm not even talking about the skate. I'm talking about before that, when she was on the ground and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like he kind of was just kind of back. I don't know, maybe because he was bullied back in the day too, so he just didn't speak up. I don't know. No, maybe that's what it was. It's just, I don't know. It just made me feel some type of way. Like I feel like even because I mean, I was bullied back in the day, but I know it was like when if I know something really bad happened, even I wouldn't even like, I would be blinded to the fact of even having what I'm about to say next, like be like make me get bullied even more. But I would say something, and it sounded like he was just kind of sitting there, and when like she was up there doing her showing her project with Hopper. Yeah. And I'm just thinking, like, especially with Will knowing what happened to Hopper, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, I'm surprised he just didn't yell, like, everyone shut the hell up or something. I don't know. Yeah.
You're right. You're right. But then to me, I put that on Mike. Like, I was so mad at Mike that he just sat there like a bitch and watched 11 get bullied. At a skating ring. Like there is no excuse for that. Like, you go get her. I'm not saying you can't fight all those kids, you know what I'm saying? But you go get your girl and get her out of there, like you've done so many times to avoid her being arrested and shit, right? Yeah. But him just to sit there and go, oh my God, 11 is being bullied and she's being filmed and you do nothing? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I
mean, they all did. It was like Mike, Will, and even Will's, and then John.
Yeah, but I'm like, they're not dating her. I'm like, that's Mike's responsibility. Like, I'm like,
oh yeah, I got you. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I didn't know a little bit had to deal with like the fact that Mike was still in shock in the sense of like all the stuff that 11 was saying wasn't true. And I gotta tell you, Mike's feelings has changed about her. If you remember, like I know you're saying like that's your girlfriend. Mike, remember, like they had this huge blow up and it's like, yo, all these letters, like you don't say like you love me, you just say from Mike. You know what I mean? And he hesitated and was like, do you love me? And then he couldn't say it.
I have two thoughts.
Damn.
So I have two thoughts with that. They could be going the route of, he's young and he feels like saying I love you is a big step, but he does care and he just don't know how to express it. They could be going that route. They could be going that his feelings has changed. I think it's something that when she said that, why don't you love me? His response is, you're a superhero. Like, it's not, it's like her, like she to me, 11 is like, love me for a person. Like, would you love me if I don't have my powers? Would you love me if I'm just a regular girl? And I think he loves the superhero. He loves the idea of her. And
I was thinking that at first, but then I also realized this kid's just now going through puberty and whatnot. And I think part of him possibly moved on, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like even she had her powers still. I mean, sometimes people just grow apart. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I mean, that's like I said, I was thinking that too at first. So who knows? Maybe it was that. I mean, it would be kind of, Mikey is like one of the main stars, and it would be really fucked up. They write his character to be like, he'll only love you if you have powers. If you take the powers away, then fuck you.
No, not fuck you. But I'm saying when your relationship starts like that, like his first relationship, right? Like the girl he was attracted to, is a superhero. I mean, to the extent saved the world twice. You know what I'm saying? It's a very emotional situation to create a relationship, right?
Yeah.
She becomes a normal girl. She leaves, like you said, for quite a while. Like she's going to school in another place, and he's like, well, if the first thing if the first thing his response is your powers. What does that say? Like, what does that say about what you think about 11 as a person? And that's the only thing the first thing that crosses your mind. It's not that you make me happy. It's not that you're smart. It's not that you're pretty. It's like, you had superpower. Like, and that's why she said, I'm going to go get my powers back. Like, I think part of her thinking is that, well, if I get my powers back, he'll love me.
Well, but he even said, but if you notice too, even though he knows that 11 didn't have her powers anymore, he said, you are a superhero. He didn't say you were. He said present day, like you are, like as if he still sees her as a superhero. You see what I'm saying? Like he didn't say like in the past when you had your, like he would have. So I don't know. I feel like I don't think he was saying it because she had powers, or else he would have probably went past tense with it. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
I think they're saying what other people were saying was that with or without your powers now, you saved the world twice. Like you still the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But
I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, I just think that fed it to her. Like, I got to go get my powers. Not just to say, but maybe this will fix my relationship. And maybe in the end, Mike just goes, just ain't it anymore. Like, what's the other guy's name that's with Nancy? Because clearly that's not going to work out.
Oh,
Jonathan.
Yo, what the hell? Like, he barely even had lines this season.
Yeah, man.
Like our guy was who I was thinking of. His friend. Like, it's I think it's kind of. They had that little. I know what they were trying to do. They had that little scene where Argyle was talking to John, and Nancy was talking to her nerdy friend, and they had a little. That was a nice little touch where it was like going back and forth, like, so you're not. It's like, so you didn't see her? But wait, y'all going to different schools?
Yeah.
Wait, what's going on? Like, I like that setup, but it was clear, especially when you saw like her meet up with Steve again.
Yeah.
After a while, aka the greatest babysitter on earth. You know what I mean? Which I love that they keep bringing that up. He's like, I'm always a babysitter. I love it. Keep it up, please. It was clear. I'm like, oh shit! Like they're gonna have them hook up again. Like they're gonna be like together again. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, well, I guess they kind of cemented it with John basically like not even applying for the same school that she was applying for. I was like, oh fuck.
No. The sign was when Eddie told Steve to be like, she jumped in after you. Like Nancy immediately with no hesitation was like,
no. I mean, but even before that,
with the school thing,
like it seemed like John was like he's like, look, we're on two different paths, and then it just made. I don't know. I don't like what they did with John. It made him straight up just a weed head, like his friend.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that's kind of disrespectful to the character that you guys kind of developed. Like he was like this really shy, emo kid in the first first 2 seasons and whatnot. And then he's now background like emo. That's one critique I will have about this season is that his character was just like, yeah, I just said, F it. Yeah, we got some better characters now. Like, no, that's basically what they did.
They did.
Yeah. I mean, like they did great. They expounded on other characters. Like, for example, Max, who was like kind of a side character in season 2 and whatnot, and had a somewhat of a bigger arc in season 3. And I would say probably the lead as far as all the kids, except for maybe Dusty, obviously. Dusty and maybe Steve. Like, everyone else was just like, yeah, we don't care about y'all. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah.
I felt that way about Lucas. Like her relationship with Lucas, I thought was going to be something like coming into like season 4. So I was a little upset that they like broke up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And like
they might still do that.
No, I think I'm hoping that's again everybody the main characters have someone else, right? They have so I'm hoping those two kind of keep each other like together. I was just like, it was just weird how their relationship just kind of went to nothing. You know, like she was just mad like all the time. And then I thought that counselor was going to be working with Vecna.
That might still happen too.
Yeah, I need that to happen. I need that to happen because it's odd that
it's too connected. It's like way too connected.
All the victims just happen to be her patients and shit.
Yep.
So I'm like, nah.
I was gonna say like he's stuck in the upside down Vecna and one is like, how is he getting like this? I mean, I know he could probably like mentally teleport himself, like mentally like kind of like feed off of that, but I would imagine like he has to have someone on the other side, like an inside, like someone that's working for him on the other side. And I might, it's probably like the counselor, So, yeah. So I don't know. I think, yeah, go ahead.
No, I just hoping that develops. I hope that develops. And then the lack of parental supervision cannot be like overstated. Like
this is the 80s, man.
This is the 80s. I mean, these parents don't have a fucking clue what these kids are doing all day.
I know, right?
Joyce is by far the worst. I mean, she's a single mother, so I shouldn't be like that. She's a single mother, but I'm like, you left.
Joyce went to freaking Russia. She went to like Russia to like
to save a man.
Randomly.
Like, it's like you're trying to save a man. You pretty sure it's probably dead.
Well, actually, no, though. She left him with an adult, her son, John. She left him with John. Is like, remember, she gave him money for pizza. John, Will's older brother. See, I told you that's how much they fucked up his character.
They did.
You forgot he even existed. So yes, like he's like 18 years old. He's like 18 years old. Adult supervision. You know what I mean? It just turned into freaking. It just turned into Babysitter's Club. It just turned to like Babysitter's Club. That's what.
It's like, but I'm like, you don't realize your son is smoking weed every fucking day. That like he's probably not the best one to leave in charge of the house. It's some money. Like that doesn't make sense. Like I mean, like she works from home. So I mean, how you not smelling this shit at some point? Like I was like, it's a bit much. But Dustin and the other parents, they don't give fucks, man. Like I clearly because these kids just run around on bikes all day. Getting into adventures.
Yeah. Like, yeah. What do you? We haven't really talked too much about her and damn it, the bald eagle. What's his name?
The bald. Oh yeah. You talk, so Joyce's adventures to go see a Hopper. To
try to get Hopper. Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
All these questionable.
He's hilarious. I don't. Murray.
That's right.
Murray.
Yep. Yeah,
absolutely.
I love all those like those. He's like, yeah, I got a black belt in this or whatever. I love like the music they play even when like he's fighting these people and whatnot. It is awesome. It is awesome.
Since it's so 80s, I actually thought he was gonna do the crane from Karate Kid, and I still think
later. Didn't it? I thought Karate Kid came out like late 80s.
No. Like part 2 was like 89. So, but I mean, anyway, it's still an 80s thing. Like I thought because with Karate Kid being in the universe, you know what I'm saying? Like I thought he was gonna be like, what? And then like he kicks like one of the guys. I think it's still on the table.
We still got 2 more episodes
left.
That's
what I'm saying. I think it's still on the table. But
yeah, still could happen. You know what I mean?
But when he's like, I only fought a 17-year-old, but I'm really good.
Yeah.
I was like, they're gonna do Karate
As
Kid.
I said, yeah, I beat him that one time. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I love it. That was so cool. That was so cool. Yeah. What do you feel about and then Hopper, and then we got the whole thing with Hopper being in that horrific prison. That's the second time we've seen him in a Russian prison in 1 year.
Black Widow.
You know, yeah.
This actually made more sense.
Yeah. Except for that. Oh, dang. Yeah. My leg hurts though. Every time I saw him, my legs started hurting, man. I was like, damn, dude.
That didn't make any sense that he's still able to walk on that damn thing. And then number 2 was how season 3.
It doesn't make sense. You know why? Because he's a badass.
Season 3, season 3's ending doesn't match up to Hopper's current situation. Because in season 3, he was in the same prison, almost 2 cells down from that monster. Because that's how they showed him. They showed him in the thing, and then they showed the monster. And so I'm like, so I thought that's how this is going to be. Now they're saying that he was in the general prison complex, and then they finally tried to, pit him and the rest of the people against said monster. And I'm like, that's not how you did it. That's not how you did it in the season finale. And
maybe he got transferred.
And then they put him
back. Got transferred off camera. Maybe got transferred off camera.
I submit no, sir. But it was still cool for them to fight. The fight was awesome. Like to see the monster just like wipe. But like, what's the end game? Like, I'm trying to feel like you got one creature that you cannot control or even point in a direction. So I'm like,
oh, it was entertainment. It's pure entertainment. Like don't like you never heard of like underground like fight rinks in prisons? Like that stuff really exists, and it's like straight up. It's like, and it's because it is such a harsh condition for even the guard, like for prison guards and whatnot for themselves, is that they need stuff to kind of entertain them. And then for them, it was like straight up. It was like some Julius Caesar's, Coliseum stuff, in the sense of like, yo, we got a pet down in the basement and whatnot, and it's like we were told that to keep them alive. So these prisoners halfway dead anyway. Let's just fatten them up, which I thought was an awesome concept. I loved even that speech that he gave with the whole like basically saying, so all this is this feast here. It's like, nah, it's like, it's not just, it's not to get your energy up and whatnot. It's to make sure that he gets fed well and all this other shit. I don't know. I thought that was pretty dope. I thought that was dope. But no, I mean, I think that's all it was. It was just straight up, just pure entertainment, and to make sure that he doesn't die. The Demogorgon doesn't die.
So I can see your point. I guess I see that now. That's the story that they're going with now. Okay, but with season 3 being about the Russians trying to weaponize the gate and try to control the upside down. Like I took the ending as they were again trying to experiment on the beast, maybe try to weaponize the beast, like that sort of thing. But now with the whole, like I said, Hopper's speech was great. And I like when he was like, I'll figure out how to use this torch, and he was like fighting. I felt like Gladiator, like I had a Gladiator feel when they were like, we stand together, like whatever comes out this door, we stand together. Yep. I was like,
and you had to get a few people that just decided not to, I mean?
It's like
expendable folks,
It's like, why you have so many actors? Because they don't have names, because they won't be around in about 5 minutes.
I'm about to say, I thought it was 5 of them. Now it's 12. I'm like, oh, that's why. I was like, yep, because there are about 6 of them about to get their ass eaten. I love that was dope.
The peanut butter thing was awesome. It was all awesome. Like I like the journey to
peanut butter. Yeah.
The peanut butter shit was hilarious. Yuri.
What about that internet line was awesome with Dusty's girlfriend. It was like, he's like, yeah, it was like, I was like, I get to do this and blah 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 blah, and then it goes into the internet. And he's like, and then Steve's like, what's the internet? And he's like, there's no time to explain, but it's going to change the world. Like it's like.
I like how they took it to the war games. Like it was definitely war games. Also, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, with the idea of hacking into a high school system, changing grades and that kind of shit. Like I felt like a Ferris Bueller reference was going to be in there, because I felt like that's what they did. No, it was great, man. I mentioned this. What do you want to see in the last 2 movies? In essence, I mean,
last 2 movies. Like I said, a little bit more as far as, I mean, even though I think Dusty said it, I know you don't necessarily believe it, but I would like to kind of flesh out a little bit more as far as what Vecna's purpose is when it comes to to the Night Flyer over to the upside down. I mean, I already know this is going to happen. I mean, because that's just how they usually do it with every season. But I feel like having everybody come back together, you know what I mean? Like on straight up like Infinity War shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what do we do? What do we do? And all of a sudden 11 does like comes superhero pose. Like, you know what I mean? Like a poser as as what Natasha's sister always says, you know what I mean? Just like, and then 11 just like facing off against them. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll just be good with that stuff. I hope they don't kill off Eddie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would be kind of poetic if he does sacrifice himself. But then I just feel like the season was kind of a waste of them trying to save his life in the first place. But then I guess without them trying to save his life, they wouldn't even understand what's going on with the creature in the first place. So I guess they needed that story arc anyway. You know what I mean? If they do decide to kill him, I hope not though. But I don't know. I hope Max and Lucas hooks back up, and Lucas at the end of it decides to join the Hellfire Club. He gets his own shirt. You know what I mean? He puts it over his jersey, his basketball jersey, and plays a little bit. I hope that 11. Like I hope like Angela like coming out the hospital when she tries to bully 11 again, and then 11 just makes her like start hitting herself like Dr. Strange did to Bruce Campbell. You know what I mean? That would be pretty dope. I don't know. No, I mean they wouldn't do that. Yeah, I mean just shit like that. I don't know. I mean them coming together, all of them together, even Hopper somehow. All the coming together, I think would be pretty dope because that it's going to happen. But I don't know. I like it when all of our heroes come back together, even though it might be a little corny. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It would be standard for the series, right? It's almost like what you learned after the first season, definitely the second season, is that you're just waiting for 11 to get there. Like everybody's just holding ground until 11 comes to clean up everything, right?
Right.
And in this one, she has to because she's the one that fought, Vecna, that created Vecna in the first
and
place.
won,
won, right? So, like I said, ultimately, you want her to come down with the superhero, landing and be like, got it, and save the day again, with that. I'm hoping she knows who she's fighting. Like once she gets there, then he's like, oh, like it's you and me again, like, and that kind of, and then. I want Papa to die. Like I want Papa.
I think everybody wants him to die.
I'm saying, but like this needs to be the most. Like if he can help daughter, which was very Thanos to me when he's like daughter, like you're the one. I hear Thanos' voice when he was saying it.
Yeah, he'll die. He'll have to die by Vecna's hands though, because for one, like it'll be Vecna. Like it won't be 11.
No,
killing him though. Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like they and that other scientist, they come to they bring her to Hawkins to save the day. Mm-hmm. Vecna comes, and he's and like I said, he kills like Papa in front of her, and he's and like so that's his comeuppance for everything.
Oh, that would be perfect because you know what that would mean. In order to kill Papa, he would have to show his transgressions, and then maybe we'll see scenes of what he did to one. Like experiment on him to create the other kids. That, to your point, I definitely want to see that because like right now we're just told like they just used him to create the other kids. You know what I mean? And yeah, and even though we're all saying like, oh, they basically compound beat it or whatever, just took some DNA and switched it around and made it to some Jurassic Parks type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be pretty dope to actually kind of see him like being tortured and put through all these random tests and whatnot, and you know what I mean, make him become
on top of 11. I mean, none of them had good we all know 11 got tortured in her own way, but to be like you said, to be like that Will / Vecna was the first. So what did they have to do to even get that compound V thing? Right. To be like, this is why I'm breaking his body parts right now. Is because he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And she keeps on going back to her mother, but like
Robert Englund, that's another one. I want Robert Englund to come back and be like, son, I'm right here. son, like he's, I mean, he's blind, so I guess he won't be able to see him.
He won't be able to see. But Vecna did
But what if
say,
he absorbs him and then he does like look like straight up look like Freddy Krueger-esque?
hilarious.
Nah, that'll be a little much.
That'd be he all of a sudden he has a claw for a hand. He's like, oh my god, like I got some hooks. Erica is hilarious, and so far the greatest addition to the team. I thought Harper was a past government agent of a past CIA or Army type Black Ops type thing. I didn't know it was just his daughter had cancer. Yeah, I mean, he joined the military, so time frame. He probably went to Vietnam, as he talked about. He went to Vietnam, so like that's kind of common for the time frame. I thought when he was in Russia, something was going to come out like he used to be some kind of agent. Like there was some meaning to him being captured by the Russians or something more than just he's just the American that ended up on the thing. I could see.
He disrupted their plans. He disrupted their plans last season, and he wants to make him pay, just like Baxter. Baxter's got to pay. Hopper got to pay. You know what I mean? So.
Thank you for the reference. I want to for all you who watch BMF. All you BMF fans. If you were looking at the basketball player Patrick who got murdered in the lake, the black dude that got murdered, and you're like, I know him from somewhere. The answer is he was in BMF. He's Big Meech's a cousin. Is who he is. And I was staring at that face. I was staring at that little scruff, like goatee thing he got going on. And I was like, who? Yeah. I was like, who is that motherfucker? I was like, it was eating at me. And then I was like, motherfucker. I was like, that's the guy from BMF. Yeah, your faceless man was good. Yeah.
Yes, the man with no faces.
Hilarious.
And guess what? He was just like in Game of Thrones. He was in prison. He was placed in prison. And he taught on them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna say also Jack Ryan. He was in Jack Ryan season 2. He was the villain in Jack Ryan season 2.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. No, he's a great actor. I love that him and I love that he's still alive. I don't know if he'll be alive next season necessarily. But I like him as an actor. Like obviously Game of Thrones made him everyone's favorite. I think they kind of did him dirty towards the end of Game of Thrones. Like they kind of made that story arc just kind of went into nothing. You know what I mean? But you can make it right now with him being in Stranger Things, in my opinion. So,
well, I mean, the whole premise of the faceless warrior training went to nothing. I mean, really. I mean,
I was like, oh, is he going to search out Arya? Like what's going to happen? And it was like it went nothing. I'm sorry, we just jumped shows on y'all. Sorry.
My bad. Anyway, So July, the last 2 movies would be in July.
Yeah. I think the last 2. One of them, what they say is they said either the finale episode, either episode 8 or 9. One of them was like, not joking, 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
They're going in game on this one.
Straight up, except you're not just getting in game, you're getting Infinity Wars and in game because they're releasing 8 and 9. So it's the last 2 episodes. So.
That's Infinity War link. They're going Infinity War link and in game.
And I'm okay with it. I know some people are like kind of upset. I'm sure, if you're someone that's working like close to 7 days a week and whatnot, you're probably really annoyed with what like releasing 7 episodes and each one being like an hour and 20 minutes long each or whatever. I'm okay. Like I was like I said, I feel like for what Netflix is going through and that, like I said in the beginning, they should have just released it weekly. You know what I mean? Like I think it would have made more sense, especially the show is still popular enough that people will tune in the next week. You know what I mean? To your point, they're losing subscribers, they're losing content. Like taking this show weekly would have, especially with episodes being as long as they were, right? Like it's like you don't feel like you don't have enough to work with, right? So B Mickey, that's right, B Mickey. Thank you, Vaughn. That's who he was. But definitely because they got to stretch this stuff out. But I mean, I don't know where the money's coming from. They got like 3 or 4 actually good original movies coming out. I'm like, they should be in deep debt. Like credit cards, man. Credit cards.
Dude, I'm like, where the fuck's the money coming? That action movie they got coming out, Gray Man, I think that's a Netflix film?
Yes. I thought it was in theaters.
No.
Oh damn. Okay.
That's money.
Yeah, and then you got Extraction 2 coming out.
That's money.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's why they started trimming stuff away. Like, they got rid of Ozark and so. I mean, I don't know. Stranger, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's funny because I think they need to change their business model, which is kind of ironic. Like I saw a video where they were saying the same thing in the sense of like, funny how they moved out of Blockbuster because Blockbuster didn't change their business model, and Netflix is kind of fallen and into the same thing that kind of got them to become number one in the first place. So I was like, yeah, and I was like, when I heard that, I was like, yo, good freaking point. You know what I mean? So, I mean, so far this is I guess that's why they're definitely doing a season 5. They need something, but you also need another show that's going to be as great as like House of Cards or Orange is the New Black or something. You know what I mean? And I don't know. They still got Squid Games, but I guess I don't know.
I mean, I can't they have content. Like I think the problem is they buy a lot of other content. Like Squid Games, they didn't make that shit themselves. Like they kind of buy it from other nations, right? So they kind of got a lot of content, but it's just too many options out there. Like, it's competition. I mean, right. I mean, everybody got a plus now. So you're competing with a lot more competition, and they're producing a lot more original content, which is good because that's what keep people coming back. But how many Adam Sandler movies do you need? How many?
I know, right?
How many Kevin Hart movies do you need? Because he got another one coming out. How many comedy specials?
I mean, it depends. So it depends. It depends on who's watching what. Like, I mean, I don't know. To your point, a lot of people apparently are always watching some of those Adam Sandler movies. I've watched a few of them. I'm like, but they'd be number one. You know what I mean? They'd be number one. I'm like, okay, but to your point with the competition, Stranger Things came out the same week as the first few episodes of Obi-Wan. And then people were like, I heard people saying like, yo, which one do I watch? I think I'm gonna watch Obi-Wan first. And then the following week, now you got The Boys. So it's like, so you got Disney Plus and Amazon, like now being well established as far as their video content goes. Well, Disney, I still think they still need a little bit more work. I mean, but they were so brand new, so you can't really fault for a company that's just been created 3 years ago. But everyone's coming into their own in the sense of like Netflix. I don't know. Netflix needs to change something. Apple. That's right.
Plus,
Apple got some.
Apple got their shit. I mean, a lot of that shit I don't watch, but the point is like everybody got their shit, and you still got Stars, you still got Showtime. I mean, like there's a lot of original content out there.
HBO Max is always pulling out stuff,
out their asses. Like I was gonna go see the Northman, but that shit's gonna be on TV tomorrow. So I'm just gonna get Peacock Plus and watch that. And anyway, to your point, we're gonna do The Boys in a minute. Actually, that's why we gotta wrap this up. So we're gonna say goodbye to the Stranger Things. We'll be back in July for the last 2 movies. Thank you everybody for commenting. We greatly appreciate it. Please leave a like and a comment on a permanent comment on the video. If you're new, please subscribe and please hang out with us if you're interested. We're gonna talk about a man jumping into another man's penis. That's what we're about to get into. I was like, what? But anyway, we'll talk about The Boys episodes 1, 2, and 3 in about 2 seconds. Until next time.